The studio lights were blinding, the cameras humming softly as millions tuned in live across the country. The debate stage was packed, the air thick with tension and expectation. Everyone knew it wasn't going to be an ordinary night up. It was Schiff against Pam Bondy, two figures from opposite ends of the political battlefield. But no one could have predicted just how explosive the confrontation would become. The moderator had barely finished the opening question when Schiff leaned forward, his tone sharp, calculated, and laced with disdain. "With all due respect, Pam, you're a joke. Your legal arguments are laughable, your defense is hollow. You've built your career on theater, not substance." His words cut through the air like a blade, and a ripple of gasps spread through the audience. Pam's face froze for a moment. On live television, under the scrutiny of millions, being dismissed as a joke wasn't just an insult, it was an attack on her identity, her credibility, her years of hard work. The cameras zoomed in on her expression, searching for cracks, waiting for her to falter. Schiff leaned back, smirking slightly, convinced he had landed the final blow. But Pam didn't flinch. Instead, she took a deep breath, her hands folded neatly in front of her. Her eyes burned not with anger, but with something deeper resolve. When she finally spoke, her voice was calm, steady, yet every syllable carried the weight of her conviction. "Adam," she began softly, "I've been called a lot of things in my career, but let me remind you and everyone watching, being underestimated has always been my greatest advantage." She paused, letting the words sink in. The audience, which had been buzzing moments earlier, fell completely silent. Pam continued, her voice growing stronger. "You call me a joke? Fine. But the so-called a-joke stood up for victims when others looked away. This a-joke faced down corporations and powerful figures who thought they were untouchable. And while you dismiss me, Adam, remember Thesa, I never needed a title to fight for what's right. I needed courage, something you might want to borrow." The audience erupted in applause. But Pam wasn't done. Her comeback had only just begun. Being a woman in politics, in law, in public life, it means being told constantly that you're not enough, too loud, too emotional, too ambitious, or, as you just said, a joke. But I've learned that those labels are nothing more than shields used by people afraid of real competition. And I refuse to let your words or any answer define me. Schiff shifted uncomfortably in his seat, the smirk gone. The camera caught his eyes darting to the moderator, as if searching for rescue. But Pam pressed forward, unwavering. "You see, Adam, leadership isn't about tearing others down, it's about standing up when it matters most. And right now, millions of young women and men are watching this broadcast, watching me be belittled, and waiting to see how I respond. So let me be very clear, I will not be silenced, I will not be diminished, and I will never stop fighting for what I believe in." The applause thundered again, louder this time, echoing through the hall. Some audience members even rose to their feet, clapping, cheering. Schiff sat back, his face flushed, his attempt to dismiss her now backfiring in spectacular fashion. Pam smiled, not with arrogance, but with quiet satisfaction. She hadn't just defended herself, she had turned an insult into a rallying cry. The audience wasn't just impressed, they were inspired. After the debate ended, clips of the exchange went viral within minutes. Social media lit up with praise for Pam's composure, her strength, her ability to transform an attack into empowerment. Headlines the next morning read, "Pam Bondy turns insult into inspiration and Schiff's words backfire as Bondy wins the night." But beyond the headlines, something more important happened. Women across the country, watching from their living rooms, offices, and dorm rooms, felt a surge of validation. Pam's words had spoken for them, for everyone who had ever been underestimated, dismissed, or mocked for daring to stand tall. In interviews afterward, Pam was asked if she had prepared that comeback in advance. She shook her head. "No," she said, "it came from the heart." Because sometimes, the best response isn't scripted, it's lived. And I've lived my entire life being told I can't. That night, I simply chose to remind the world that I can. The inspiring message that lingered was clear. Insults only have power if you let them. Strength isn't measured by titles, positions, or even victory, it's measured by resilience, the ability to rise in the face of mockery and stand unshaken. Pam's comeback was more than a defense, it was a declaration. And on that night, under the bright lights of live television, the so-called joke silenced the entire room, not with anger, but with truth. And truth, when spoken with courage, is always louder than any insult.